Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Thursday the 16th of October. I'm Hilary Entwistle. An evolving art piece which acknowledges those families who fitted a lifetime of love into a few precious moments with their babies was unveiled yesterday at a simple but moving ceremony at Waikato Hospital. The unveiling of Memorial Heart was held on International Neonatal Loss Remembrance Day, commemorating babies who are lost before, during or shortly after birth. The Memorial Board uses locally sourced recycled timber with a heart-shaped centre filled with Waikato pebbles. Tauranga City Council now has a policy in place for dealing with requests from Māori to buy city land. The draft was approved by the Council's City Vision Committee this week after a staff request was made in 2013. This followed an announcement from local iwi who want ownership of the 5.5 hectare Mount Recreation Reserve containing the holiday park and hot pools. The new City Council policy has taken a year to get through the Council Committee process and now gives them a mechanism to process Māori requests for city land. Fans of all ages will be catered for when first-class international cricket comes to the Bay Oval for the very first time next week. The Mount Maunganui venue plays host to two one-day internationals on Tuesday the 21st and Friday the 24th of October, with New Zealand's Black Caps taking on the might of South Africa. At what will be the first international match of the summer series on Tuesday, the ANC Cricket Zone will be set up to help entertain families who are keen to soak up the action on and off the field. Hamilton's popular Lake Domain playground will undergo a significant transformation over coming weeks. The playground on the eastern side of Lake Rotorua and near the Veranda Cafe will be off limits for about 8 weeks, while contractors working on behalf of Hamilton City Council install a range of new equipment. Sally Sheedy, Council's Park and Open Spaces Manager, says the scale of the work requires a full closure of the playground, with old equipment to be removed before new equipment is installed. Mayor Julie Hardacre says the Lake Domain Playground is one of the most visited playgrounds in the city. Now for the marine forecast, West Coast, Raglan. You have a northerly rising early tomorrow morning with 20 knots. Your high tide is at 6:07 p.m. East Coast Bay Plenty, northerly 15 knots. The sea is slight out there, cloudy and there may be some late drizzle. High tide is at 3 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. Still to come on Central News, it's Equidays this weekend. And if horses aren't your thing, there is a new market in Hamilton. And of course, your weather for Friday. Welcome back to Central News on TV Central. Equidays is a national equine event held at Mystery Creek Event Centre, Hamilton. Our next event is this weekend, the 17th to the 19th of October. Bringing industry, education and competition to New Zealand, Equidays is a unique event with a wide range of equine-related demonstrations, exhibitions, activities and retail sites. Anne-Marie spoke to Field Days CEO John Calder to find out what people can expect to see at Equidays 2014.
Oh, we've got a huge program planned for Equidays this year. So 7 arenas. We've got our indoor arena. We've got our cross-country course, which is a first for Equidays this year. We've got the Derby course. We've got educational demonstrations. We've got seminars. We've got clinics with some of the world's leading equine clinicians. So there's something for everybody here, in addition to some fantastic family-based entertainment options as well.
This is the 4th year Equidays has been an event at Mystery Creek. What kind of growth have you seen in that time? Yeah,
it's been really interesting. I mean, if you look at it purely from visitor numbers, the numbers have been reasonably static, so we attract an audience of around about 12,500, but certainly the indications for this year are we're on track for a far bigger audience if our pre-sales are anything to go by. But exhibitor numbers, so that the retailers that are here, with the best equine equipment on display, we're well up on last year, so more than 50% increase in exhibitors. So in terms of being able to equip yourself with the best equine equipment. Those products that'll be on display here, everything will be here for that.
Equidays is much more than just retail stalls and horses. Tell me about the Kaimanawa Heritage Challenge.
So that's something new for this year, and something we're incredibly proud to be associated and partnering with Kaimanawa Heritage to support. So the 17 stallions that were part of the Kaimanawa Cull have been out with some of New Zealand's top trainers who basically bid for a horse, bid for a position in the program, and those horses are only 150 days out of the wild. So I think visitors to Equidays this year are going to be in for something pretty special, seeing what those trainers have done with those horses.
So what have the trainers done with them? Basically broken them in?
So the stallions have been gelded and then gone into a training program, but it's quite top secret, so nobody's too sure what each trainer is going to demonstrate and showcase with the horse they've been working with. So it is. It's something that's it's going to be very cool and very, very unique, and something we're incredibly proud to have here this year.
Equidays also has competitions for horses and ponies. All of them look a little bit different though from your normal run-of-the-mill pony competition.
Yeah, they are, and one of the big challenges with Equidays, I mean, we've built the event around education, but also that we want to have a strong competition element so that people can take what they learn and put that into practice and show how good they are. So we've developed over the last 4 years a series of competitions that are quite unique to Equidays. So if you take our Pony Derby, for example, it's the only competition of that type in New Zealand. Something we're really, really proud of, and we've got a record number of entries this year, so we were oversubscribed. So we've got 28 young riders competing in that. We've got brought in cross country this year, which is a first again, so we've got a pretty spectacular cross country course down there with some pretty fierce jumps. We've got 115 hectares here that when field days isn't on, Equidays has got the whole place to play with. Plenty of room. The Derby course is again another one that's really unique. So the Hyundai Derby is becoming a bit of an iconic event in the New Zealand equine calendar. We've got show jumping, we've got Western riding, barrel racing. Reining, you name it. We've got pretty much most of the major disciplines covered.
The Saturday night show sounds fantastic. Tell me about the Ride 'em Cowboy Bonanza.
Yeah, so every year we try to sort of set ourselves a challenge of how we can create a night show that's going to really, take it to the next level. And I think what the team have put together this year with working with Equine Films, who trained and produced a lot of the equine aspects of films like Lord of the Rings, it's going to be a pretty impressive show. We've got Te Radar coming to host the night. He'll be our MC, and I think our crowd, and we look like we'll sell out. So probably 2,500 in for the night show. I think they're going to be in for a really, really fantastic evening.
Is it all family friendly?
Absolutely, yeah. Look, Equidays is family friendly. We've got a huge kids zone. We've got bouncy castles. We've got horse and cart rides. We've got face painting. You name it, it's there, and that's all free. That's all part of the entry ticket, so $10 for a children's ticket, and that whole kids zone and activity zones all included as part of the show.
One event that I'd like to hear about is eventing without the dressage. What's that about?
Yeah, so that's another first for Equidays, and what we've sort of, tried to cram as much as we can into the 3 days, and so we've taken the dressage component out. But as I said earlier, we've built a pretty impressive cross-country course. The team, with some support from a number of very prominent equine figures in the industry, have built a really impressive cross-country course. And that, coupled with the Derby course, we've got some pretty big challenges down there for some of the riders that will be competing this year. And then on the indoor arena, obviously we've got that set up for show jumping as well. Obviously
you're only 4 years in, but do you see Equidays growing to the same iconic event status that the Field Days now has?
Absolutely. So from the Field Day Society's perspective, as the owners of Mystery Creek and the owners of Field Days and Equidays, we felt it was really important to kind of diversify and look at another aspect of the broader agricultural industry where we could give back and create something pretty special. And that's what Equidays represents. And we've made a pretty hefty investment, years 1 and 2, have seen us put a significant amount into developing the event. Year 3 we effectively broke even, so year 4 we're hoping we're going to generate a good surplus here that we can then put back into the equine industry and start supporting, whether it's young riders coming through, whether it's riding for the disabled. There's a number of charities that we want to support. We've got the League Up Trust, that's one of our featured charities here this year. So it's all about really trying to create and grow. We want it to be an iconic event, but the end goal is to be able to give something back.
Check out Ikiwi Days for yourself at Mystery Creek this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. For more details, go to equidays.co.nz. Coming up next, the new market in Hamilton. Welcome back to Central News. Markets are becoming an increasingly popular way to spend a Saturday or Sunday morning. And why not? Fresh produce straight from the garden, homemade crafts and goods. It reminds us of the days that were simpler and less rushed. But surely Hamilton has enough markets now. I spoke with the organiser of the newest market to hit an empty Hamilton car park to find out more.
I sit on the Parents Association for the school, and we were bantering about fundraising ideas. I've been a stallholder myself, doing craft and creative things and selling them at markets for about 7 years. And so I put out the idea to run a Rototuna market, and I really thought not only the school needed it, but the community that's new housing. It's a really young group, also the older group that's been in the old Rototuna community that really needed something to bring it all together.
Hamilton seems to have a lot of markets already. Do we really need another one?
There are a number of markets in Hamilton. Being a stallholder, I have noticed over time lots of non-New Zealand made or non-local made products are creeping into the markets, and I really believe that the Waikato and Hamilton needs something that's going to stay true to celebrating the talents we've got locally, and that's our focus of this market.
You've held a market already. How was it?
The feedback's been overwhelming. It was raining on our first market on the 21st of September, but we had over 3,000 people come to the first market, which was just amazing. We're creeping up to 2,500 on our Facebook page now, and the local businesses have really come on board to do competitions, get really involved. And on the day of our first market, a lot of the people who live on the street came and said that they just were overwhelmed with what we had, would be back next time, and just gave amazing feedback.
Do you have a point of difference? What's going to make this market stand out?
We have a number of point of differences at Rototuna Market. We have built a specific food area that we have tables, we have games for the kids to play so mum and dad can sit down and have something to eat. We've really built our areas in the market, so we've got a plant area, we've got a vegetable area, we've got a homeopathic natural area, we've got a baby area, so we've really separated it, as well as having something for the guys, so the whole family can come out and enjoy all different parts of the market, as well as we are really focusing on wanting to display local artists. So at each market we're going to have 3 or 4 artists just displaying their stuff, wanting to sell it if they want to, local musicians. So we're really wanting to build, showing off what we've got locally.
What will be on sale here at the market?
There's lots of things on sale at the market. There's things for the blokes like archery, there's toys for the kids, there's games like playing sand art, there's sack races that the kids can get involved with, donating to the school. There's bibs for the new mums that want to come and get their slings and those sorts of things made by local people. There's plants, food, there's everything. There's a huge variety, as well as, art and all sorts of different stuff for everybody.
How often are you going to have them?
The market will run every 3rd Sunday of the month from September to April. It will then finish in May with a big market that is in line with the school's medieval fair. So that will be the last market of the season.
They're at the Waikato Waldorf School, which is a Rudolf Steiner school. Are you going to have the same kind of philosophy, or is it different identity?
The Rototuna Market's been set up as a in a way what I call a commercial market. So it is for the Hamilton community, it's for the Rototuna community, it's for everybody, for the school family community as well. But we do run in with the philosophy of the school. The school is based around having fun, creativity, and building up community, and that's what we have focused on. We have focused on not having competing products, so I really want, if there's a person selling a specific craft, that they're not having to deal with competing with 3 other people doing the same thing, because it doesn't benefit anybody and it doesn't give the wide variety that the public wants from a wonderful market.
When is the next market?
The next market is on the 19th of October, which is going to be massive. What we learnt from the 21st of September was that we can fit in at least another 20 stallholders. So it is going to be a lot bigger. We've got retro couches coming in with face painting. We've got all sorts of things going on. So it's going to be a great market.
So you have enough stallholders, you definitely want more though?
We're definitely going to have more, and where the school is and what the school has to offer, the market can grow and grow and grow. So we are always putting the shout out for, unique products, people that just, they have these ideas at home and decide to make these things and get creative. We absolutely want to hear from them and involve them in our market.
Is there something last market that kind of stood out for you that was quite unique that you haven't seen in another market?
Yeah, there's a guy that sells pens that's totally turned out of wood that are just amazing, and the kids at the school absolutely love them. There's things like handmade drums, there's health drinks that people have never seen before, to detox and all do all those wonderful things. So there's lots on offer at the market.
The next Rototuna market is on Sunday the 19th of October at Waikato Waldorf School in Rototuna. For more details, see their Facebook page, Rototuna Market. Just ahead, your weather for Friday, and there may be more ambulances on our roads. Welcome back. In the biggest recruitment drive in its history, St John will recruit 158 additional frontline ambulance staff members by July next year. The move is expected to improve service response times, reduce the number of single crews, and improve patient and staff safety. Territory Manager for the North Waikato St John Central region, Craig Scott, spoke with Anne-Marie recently and explained how the new positions will be funded.
They're going to be funded, we're going to fill 158 new positions over 35 locations out in New Zealand. The funding partners is ACC and Ministry of Health and St John. St John's going to provide 57 new positions. ACC is 82 and 19 from the Ministry of Health.
What kind of difference will the extra 158 staff make?
This will make us become more patient focused, and therefore that will help improve our response times and obviously help with the single crewing to double crewing and improve patient care and safety for staff and patients.
And what areas in the Waikato Bay of Plenty region are going to receive those extra staff?
We're looking at putting 2 in Huntly, 6 in Hamilton, 1 for Tikawiti and 1 officer for Otahoanga, 2 in Tauranga and 4 for the Mount Maunganui.
That's fantastic for those rural areas.
Rural areas always seem to struggle. The metropolitan, because you've got the metropolitan versus rural, that's that sort of scenario. And the metropolitan areas have always had the resourcing because of the work demand and double crewing, although they have some volunteers. It's predominantly unpaid staff, whereas the rural areas don't have that luxury, therefore rely more on the volunteer commitment for the double crewing.
Craig, you've been with St John's now for 34 years. Tell me how you began with the organisation.
Well, it's a long time ago. I'm actually a car painter by trade when I left school, and an opportunity came up to join the traffic department. So, because back then traffic was separate from the police, as today where it's all in one. So, and I spent 3 years with the traffic department, and I did enjoy the role, but I had some colleagues in there that left the traffic department and went to St John. And they just kept sort of hounding me, I'm in the wrong job, and therefore, come over to St John. So I did. I took the plunge, I went to St John, and they took me on straight away. So I suppose with the experience with the traffic department and the exposure that I had from a shift point of view and seeing some bad accident stuff, they thought, that was a good good insight into becoming a St John officer.
What type of person makes a good St John's ambulance officer?
It's somebody, obviously, has got to have that caring nature, you know, and we talk about compassion, and compassion is something that you're either bred with and you can develop it, or it's something that people don't have, you know, and they struggle with it. So I think when somebody comes in there, you can see if they've got that caring nature, and then how they present themselves when they deal with people in the community and their patients, where that compassion comes out. And I think over years of exposure and experience really develops that compassion.
For more details on volunteering or working for St John, go to stjohn.org.nz. Now for our weather for Friday. Hamilton, you have some cloudy periods with some late rain. Northerlies, your expected high is 19 and an overnight low of 12. The rest of the Waikato, you can expect cloud increasing as the day goes on and some rain developing at night. Northerlies dying out in the evening, no. Paeroa, 19 and 13. Matamata, your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 12. Te Awamutu, 19 and 12. Tokoroa, 16 and 12. Tauranga, cloud increasing, late drizzles and northerlies. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 14. The rest of the Bay of Plenty, cloud is increasing with patchy drizzle developing at night. You have some northerlies there. Te Puke, your expected high is 16 and an overnight low of 13. That is Central News for today. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can via our Facebook page, centralnews.tv, or email us news@tvcentral.co.nz. Join me again tomorrow night for more on the sale of pensioner housing in Hamilton and what should you be putting in your child's lunchbox. Until then, I'm Hilary Entwistle and I hope you have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.